On this week's Flames Central, Liberty Hoops stays hot, and we share the story of 𝘣𝘳𝘢𝑚cDowell's unexpected return to the program.
Plus some history for the Lady Flames and the grand opening of a brand new facility on campus. It all starts now. This is Flames Central.
We're like the Postal Service. Ice, snow, frigid temps, nothing is stopping us here at Flames Central. We soldier on, and we're glad you can join us this week. Alongside Rhett McGibbon, I'm Matt Warner.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it from the weather, but Super Spring is upon us here at Liberty Athletics. More on that in just a bit, but first, let's start off with hoops, and the Flames playing some of their best ball right now.
Yeah, that's right. Liberty hosting North Florida this past weekend. Now, over the past 2 years, this has been a tightly contested matchup, with each team splitting the last 4 meetings, but nothing tightly contested about these games. Liberty would absolutely torch the Ospreys and torch that defense in back-to-back ball games. On Friday, the Flames jumped out to a 17-point first-half lead. Blake Preston had 10 points in the half and would finish with 14 and 10, his third double-double of the season. Kyle Rode was also fantastic, turning in a stat line of 11 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. Liberty never trailed in this one, cruising to a 73-61 win. Now on Saturday, North Florida a little friskier. They knocked down some early shots, keeping them in it, at least until Darius McGee caught fire. The Flames guard poured in 19 first-half points, including a 3-pointer to beat the halftime buzzer, giving LU an 8-point advantage. In the second half, the Flames would pull away, shooting almost 55% from the field for the game, and that included 11 three-pointers as LU secures the win 80-60, their 6th straight victory, 34th straight home win, and it was a total team effort.
You know, like most occasions, you just, on this team, you never know who's going to be the leading scorer, whose night it's going to be. But our guys really share the ball, and they play for one another. It's very rewarding as a coach to watch people play the game like that.
Well, that sweep was huge for the Flames as they try to keep up with Bellarmine in the ASUN standings. The Knights are the surprise of the league this year. In just their first season of D1 ball, they're out to a 10-2 record. Right now, it's looking like the ASUN regular season crown will all come down to the final series of the season when Liberty travels to Bellarmine.
Well, turning our attention to a more serious note, despite the success and smiling faces that you see on the court, the last year has been full of trials for the Liberty program. More specifically, Associate Head Coach Brad Soucy. Coach Soucy lost his wife to breast cancer on August 14th of 2020. The McKays lost a best friend, and the team lost a smiling face that always shone bright. Just before Saturday's game, the entire Liberty basketball family wore Kendra Soucy's favorite color, yellow, to honor and remember her life.
Typically, I know that pink, the color pink, has been associated with breast cancer, and although Kendra was not really a pink girl, definitely yellow is her color, and it represented her so well because Kendra was all things sunshine and bright.
I think it was Rebecca Ray, our administrative assistant, said, you know, for Coaches versus Cancer, we should do something for Kendra because it hit home.
Today our team is wearing yellow, Kendra's favorite color, to honor her life.
You wouldn't have believed our players. I'm not sure we missed a day when we gathered collectively as a group and without praying for Kendra. And really what the day is about is celebrating a life well lived, celebrating an incredible woman.
Kendra was selfless. Kendra was the ultimate encourager, and she knew that that there was no battle that we could face on or off the court that couldn't be won through our hope and our enduring faith in the person of Christ Jesus.
22 months of her battle with cancer, her faith, her optimism, her belief was incredible. And Brad's too, and their kids. The Bible says that God's ways are not our ways and his thoughts are not our thoughts. And I can't help but think she's smiling down on us, celebrating her life, and has some joke about it that just Kendra she could bring light to any room that was dark,
And though she's not here with us, not only will she not be forgotten, but all that she invested into the lives of the people around her will continue to reap a harvest and continue to impact who we are, not only as individuals, but as a program.
Just an extreme blessing, to be able to walk through such a tough time with so many people that have cared and prayed and, looked after us. And it means a lot.
It's a drop in the ocean, but it's our drop, and it's our way of saying thank you and we miss you.
A tremendous life that she lived, and one thing you always hear about 𝘣𝘳𝘢𝘯𝘥 is that she was an encourager.
Yeah.
And you think a lot of people battling through cancer might want to pull in and be selfish and focus on yourself, but not her. She continued to encourage others.
Yeah, and it also speaks a lot about the culture that Liberty Basketball's created. You heard Coach Susie say, having these people rally around him and be with him during this difficult time, you've seen that. You've seen whether it's the players, their families, the coaching staff, all rally around each other during this time. It really speaks to the love they have for each other in Liberty Basketball.
For sure, and our thoughts and prayers continue to be with the Susie family. Well, if you haven't heard, which I honestly would find hard to believe, we here at Flame Central have a podcast. Malik Willis, Hugh Freeze, and Ian McCaw, we're just name dropping here. A few names that have joined us. Be sure to subscribe and download on Apple, Spotify, and Google to get the inside scoop on Liberty Athletics each week.
Well, we continue talking basketball. I'm pleased to be joined by our own Emily Austin now, who brings us the unique story of the comings and goings of Flames guard Keegan McDowell.
Thanks, Matt. Covering men's basketball so closely, we get to know the guys really well on and off the court. And for Keegan McDowell, he just has one of those stories that took us all on a journey with every twist and turn.
Here's McDowell up top for three. Boom! Keegan McDowell.
I liked what I saw when we started recruiting him in the summer.
Beautiful shot on the side. Put it in the book for Keegan McDowell, the redshirt junior out of Cincinnati.
He said he'll never recruit anybody that can't shoot.
Keegan McDowell, what a night. A career high 21 points.
And the rest is history.
Back in 2016, Keegan McDowell would choose Liberty University to play collegiate basketball. And it was a sweet start.
My first year, I started out playing a lot. First couple games, I think I was one of the higher minute guys.
McDowell for three! The biggest shot of his young career as a college basketball player.
They're really excited about his potential.
But adversity would eventually find him.
The rest of his freshman campaign was kind of up and down. He played so much early.
I went through a pretty tough stretch. I remember seeing a tweet that said Keegan McDowell is 0 for his last 19.
The situation wouldn't get any easier his sophomore season due to the depth on the roster.
We had Lavelle, we had Georgie, Caleb. We just had Elijah. We had a lot of good guards. His minutes dissipated.
That's when frustration would start to grow heading into his junior season.
It was kind of like a fear of, the same thing is going to occur my junior year that has happened my freshman and sophomore year. Kind of the ups and downs and not knowing what to expect and my minutes being up, my minutes being down, different games.
I could sense his frustrations because I know him a little bit. And, in the scrimmage that we had prior to the opener, he was frustrated and he was, I think, disappointed with his role.
His disappointment would lead to a decision. He would leave Liberty.
I knew if I played in that first game, then my year of eligibility would be taken. So I really knew I had to make a decision before that first game.
When he came in the office, I didn't expect him to say he was going to transfer. I thought maybe he'd say I may want a red shirt. And my initial reaction was I was stung a little bit.
He told me just to sit and pray about it and think about it, talk to my parents to make sure I'm making the right decision. So then we met probably Wednesday and then also Thursday and Friday.
It felt like he was going to be and was a really big part of our plan and future. So yeah, my reaction was disappointment.
Though Coach McKay disagreed with Keegan's decision, he would still show him grace in a way that was as rare as it was shocking. Keegan would not only remain on scholarship with the Flames, but he would continue to practice with the team. But Coach McKay would have an important question for closure.
Why did you leave? Really, after the smoke is cleared, you belong here. And he looked at me with a puzzled look. I said, I want you to consider coming back. And I said that out of the blue. I wasn't planning on saying that. It was a Holy Spirit-led moment.
And he gave me 24 hours to think about it. And I called him the next day and I said no. I said, I think my decision is made and I'm moving on, and I've moved on, so I think that's what I need to do. Then the next couple weeks, he treated me the exact same. He brought me into his office, he invited me to practice. Nothing had changed, and it really just kind of dawned on me he really cares about me as a person.
That truth would set in more and more for Keegan the next couple of weeks. And then he wasn't so sure about his decision to transfer.
Keegan calls and asks if we can meet, and I thought for a second, maybe he wants to come back. Timing's poor, no way.
It was pretty much as soon as I walked in, he's like, I'm guessing you had a change of heart.
He says, yeah, I'd like to come back, Coach. If you have moved on, fine, but I really know that God's called me to come back here.
There was a lot of things that had to kind of work out perfectly, which, I thought there was probably a good chance that it wasn't going to work out.
My initial reaction was, there's no way. I'm down the road. I've taken time to invest in getting to know these other kids, and because we need we need another forward. I go to bed that night and I was unsettled, restless, got up in the morning, and I know I'm supposed to take Keegan back. And I'm sitting there on my depth chart. I'm saying, I can have 9 guards. There's no. I call one of the assistants. Can't take him back, can we? I had a meeting scheduled with Keegan, went to the meeting, fully expecting to say, I need another 24 hours. And I didn't. Said, man, you're welcome back. Love you, we need you.
And the lesson Keegan would learn in return is that he needs Liberty basketball just as much.
If you took all the 360 men's basketball programs across the country, I don't think you would find one kind of run and operates like Liberty does, because it's just special.
A lot of people in Flames Nation glad that he decided to come back.
This situation is so rare in college sports. For a coach and Coach McKay to say, we want you to stick around. Oh, you want to leave? You know what? Still hang around. Let's really think through this. We love you. We want to take care of you. Most coaches are like, get out of here. We're done with you. That wasn't the case. Super impressive.
Again, that's just a reflection of the culture and the family of this program. Coaches say all the time, we love you, we care about you, but it's the action that Keegan said is what made him realize this is where he belongs.
And he's been a key piece for the Flames this year. Great story. Now we'll send it back to a guy who will never consider leaving us, Rhett McGibbon.
All right, let's turn our attention to the Lady Flames. Coming off back-to-back setbacks versus UNF, it was time to start a new streak against ASUN newcomer Bellarmine. And despite their first year at the D1 level, Bellarmine has been no pushover in ASUN play. Saturday afternoon in Freedom Hall, the Knights would race out to a 9-2 lead before LU would answer with 9 of their own. LU would eventually take a 18-16 lead into the first break. LU would storm out of the gates in the second, outscoring Bellarmine 24-13 in the frame and shooting 4-4 from beyond the arc. A part of that would be more history for LU, as with 4:22 left in the second, Lytle with the old-fashioned three-point play makes her the 18th 1,000-point scorer in program history. Lady Flames take a healthy 42-29 lead into the half. In the third, Tasha Jeffries would draw the Knights back into it, draining 3 triples on a 12-0 run. But in the fourth, Bella Smuda would score the final 5 points of an 8-0 Liberty run, pushing them on to victory. Flames win it 76-62. Smuda would finish with 15 points and 9 boards. Game 2 of the weekend series would be a tightly fought contest. Let's head to the second half. LU would come out of the break shooting cold, which would allow Bellarmine to take advantage and hold a pair of 1-point leads. However, there was no stopping Bella Smuda again on this day. The freshman would set a new career-high 16 points, helping the Flames to disarm the Knights on Sunday. Emily Lytle would record a team-high 17. Her 3 triples move her into 4th place all-time in the Liberty record books with 152. Flames take it 79-73, completing the road sweep. Now with Lytle recording her 1,000th point as a Flame in Game 1 versus Bellarmine, and Ashton Baker doing so against UNF on February 7th, it's the second time in program history that 2 Lady Flames joined the 1,000-point club in the same season. The other was the Wilkerson twins in 98-99. A special note on Emily Lytle, she becomes the first Lady Flame to record 1,000, having solely played her Liberty career in the A-Sun. Now with the wins, the Flames keep their hold on second in the conference. FGCU comes off a complete dismantling of Kennesaw State, beating them 88-38. The Eagles remain the top team in the A-Sun with a 10-0 record. The logjam in the middle gets a little wiggle room, with Lipscomb now in sole possession of 4th, while UNA grips on to 5th. Well, coming up, Liberty volleyball and softball are both finding early success this season, and LU unveils a new facility.
Plus, the always exciting Warm Hot in Fuego. That's when Flames Central returns.
Times are changing. At Liberty, we've made it our priority to grow, to learn, to improve. But even with all the change, our purpose remains. We want to equip people to go make a difference through their calling in their communities around the world. And though we are blessed with an amazing campus, our most valuable resource has always been the people, our students, and those who inspire them. It's the people who serve, maintain, support. It's you.
What's really important? Not the buildings, not the mountain, not the property, but the young people who use these buildings, who study in these facilities. They are important.
No matter what the future holds, we will stay focused on our goal. And the people of Liberty University are how we will continue to carry out our mission. They are the ones who empower us to
Training champions for Christ.
Champions for Christ.
Training champions for Christ.
Heroes wear uniforms. You wear your strength, courage, dedication on your sleeve, and your determination on your face. We're honored to help heroes like you with a 25% discount on undergraduate, graduate, or doctoral tuition. No matter how you serve, we're here to serve you.
With the burdens of daily life, it can be difficult to find a healthy balance. The need for Christ-centered professionals with the clinical skills to tackle our nation's mental health crisis has never been greater. Help others work through their depression, anxiety, trauma, or whatever they're facing with a K-CREP accredited counseling degree from Liberty University. Choose from 3 graduate degree options online and become the counselor they need wherever you are.
Hey, welcome back to Flames Central. You know, while so many eyes are locked on basketball right now, and for good reason, don't forget about these spring sports that are getting underway, specifically Liberty softball, which is off to a red-hot start. The Lady Flames are down in Florida to kick off the season. Smart move with the weather around here.
Oh, yeah.
The event is known as the Spring Games. They might as well rename it the 𝘣𝘳𝘢 Games because that's where the Lady Flames took their opponents. Facing Pitt, Middle Tennessee, and New Mexico State, Liberty wins all 5 games by a combined score of 38-9. The 5-0 start is the best for the program since 2018. Next up, they head to the Bama Bash in Tuscaloosa, where they will face a couple of top 10 opponents.
Well, turning to volleyball, the A-Sun replicating the current basketball setup in which a team plays back-to-back days against the same opponent. Flames visiting UNA, and they'd make short work of the Lions. The Saturday 3-0 sweep would see the Flames out-hit UNA in a percentage of 26.5 to just 6.4. Flames freshman Julia Mangum would collect 12 kills with 4 blocks and 9 digs. The Sunday 3-0 sweep would be full of aces. LU aggressive from the service line and recorded 10 aces on the day. Mangum would again lead the Flames in kills, followed closely by Trinity Watts with 10. Flames improved to 2-2 in ASUN conference play, while improving to 6-0 all-time versus UNA in volleyball.
Well, the doors to the new Liberty Indoor Tennis Center were officially opened this past weekend, with both the men and women taking the court in their new facility for the first times, and both would get wins. The ladies improved to 6-0 with wins over Davidson and Towson, while the men knocked off William and Mary to improve to 5-3. The new $5 million facility features 6 courts and seating for 100 fans. This building joins the 12 outdoor courts to make up what is now known as the Liberty Tennis Complex. Can't wait to check out that new facility. Always something new going in here around Liberty. All right, time now for Warm, Hot, and Fuego. Top plays, players, moments from the past week. And Rhett, can I guess the theme?
Yes.
I know this week was the 25th anniversary of Happy Gilmore. So do we have a golf theme?
That's a great idea. I didn't do it. I'm sorry.
Price is wrong.
I know.
Price is wrong. All right.
Emily,
what is the theme?
Emily told me it was National Acts of Kindness Week. I think she was fishing for like a compliment or something.
You didn't. You probably didn't give it, did you? No. Yeah. All right. Let's start with Warm, Rhett. Who's your pick for Warm?
Daniela Rhodes, field hockey team, starting right where she left off a few years ago. You know, Big East Freshman of the Year, right?
That's right.
Comes into this season first game, 2 goals and assists, 5 points. And it's hard to believe, like when I look back at her, this wasn't like she was targeted by LU and brought in. It was like, hey, I've got a friend in South Africa that plays field hockey too. Is she any good? Yeah, she's pretty good. Comes here and she is an absolute stud. Goals 14 and 15 for her in that game. That's 14 and 15 goals in 19 games played. She has 40 points overall. And I think for Coach Nikki Parsley-Blocker, it's like finding a gold brick in your backyard. You're just like, wow, look at the money I found. She has just been fantastic so far in her young Flames career. She'll go down as a great.
Oh, yeah. She's been fantastic. All right, from Warm, Rhett, we turn to Hot. Who's your choice there?
Volleyball, Julia Mangum, and she is just, this is a freshman team. Like, this team is so full of freshmen.
Yeah, young.
We've talked about, you know, men's soccer and how they're so young and talented. Volleyball just like that. You've got Trinity Watts, Burtz, and Mangum, a part of these 3 freshmen that are starting. They're going to be so good. Mangum, I think she's the soon-to-be stud. You know, she's young, still figuring things out. A-Sun's pretty good at volleyball in the conference overall, but 12 kills Saturday, 9 digs, 4 blocks. When you read that stat line, you know she can get it done in multiple aspects. It's not like she goes on the back line and they're pulling her out for a defensive specialist. She can stay back there and get it done defensively. And she had her first double-double as well on the Sunday game, and she was getting it done with 13 kills. So she's one to watch.
Absolutely. Nicely done by her. All right, finally, the top honor this week, Rhett, goes to who?
It might be the best name in all of Liberty Athletics. It's Ali Kipchirchir.
That's tough to beat.
Yeah, it's a fantastic name. And this guy in the 800 had a time. Listen to this. February 22nd, 1992.
Yeah, where was I?
Yeah, where were you?
I was almost 7 years old.
Right.
Probably playing with action figures somewhere.
Exactly. This guy, Johnny Prettyman, ran a 150.7.
You know what? I do recall that.
That went down, you know, it was all over the place. Anyways, 29 years later, Ali never broke 152 in his life, dropped a remarkable 150.52. Wow. 3rd best time in A-Sun history, breaking the Liberty record. So great job by Ali, and nice work there on the cross-country team. You know the sun's going to come out. You know Liberty cross-country is just going to attract the field. They're just going to wreck.
They're going to wreck. Rhett, great job as always. Still to come, you haven't seen Richie McKay like this before, and neither had his players. A new hot seat when Flame Central comes back.
Welcome to Liberty University's online programs. Where living out your calling with integrity is what you train to do, and getting ready for the future doesn't mean missing out on the now. Because a university is more than buildings and books, and an education should set you free, not fence you in. Welcome to Liberty's global campus, where distance learning was pioneered and evolved into one of the top-ranked schools in the nation. Where protecting your budget, your time, and your education isn't just a theory, it's our priority. Here, degrees in your field reflect industry demands and help get you ahead of the competition. Where college comes to you, but you can come to college too. Game day, homecoming, graduation day, your school, your values, your experience, your choice. Welcome to Liberty University, where we train champions for Christ.
What are the moments that stick with you? The ones that take your breath away? Sometimes you find them when you least expect them. You just need the opportunities to pursue. At Liberty University, you can earn a world-class degree and alongside, walk away with memories and experiences that will last a lifetime for all your passions and interests. So what is your dream? Liberty University can ignite it, and your outcome will change the world.
Hey there, friends, welcome back to the show. We all have those photos from our younger years that, are a little bit embarrassing. For instance, there may be more than a few pictures of me as a kid wearing a Canadian tuxedo. You can Google that.
You should. And while we're never going to show those on TV, at least not today, we didn't have the same compassion for Liberty basketball coach Ritchie McKay. On this week's Hot Seat, we asked his players to react to a photo from days gone by.
Sheesh. Who is this, Coach McKay?
Coach.
Wow.
This had to be, what, 1960s?
Or 70s?
Oh, my gosh.
No comment. I want to play this year, so.
I can see the resemblance now. I never saw it before, but I can see it.
This is Cuff, right? If you zoom in, just like his smile, he looks just like Cuff. I mean, I can see some of the resemblance. It's Cuff. Oh, that's McKay.
First of all, he got a helmet on his head.
But his hair kind of look like mine, though, a little bit.
Man, you got the nice fro, though. It's tough.
I rock with the fro.
The hair looks great. Definitely not the same as it is today.
That's all I really rock with, to be honest.
I think this should go on our Instagram page at some point.
I'm guessing that's his car, matched the jersey.
Oh, gosh. Where do y'all find this?
He definitely couldn't guard me.
I know he didn't get no buckets back then.
Depends on who's guarding him. I mean, if I'm guarding him now.
He looks kind of strong, actually, so.
He was a stud. Young Will Smith type.
This is bad.
Reaction to this photo.
No. Did you show this to somebody else? It's time to go.
Young Will Smith type. I guess that's a pretty good compliment coming from these players. Yeah.
Well, hey, make sure you go to libertyflames.com, click the Flame Central link in the top right-hand corner.
Check out the podcast as well. You can find it wherever great podcasts can be heard. He's Rhett. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right back here next week.